Hello and welcome to this Affinity photo tutorial, and it is looking at sort of getting this mosaic effect and sort of having a bit of fun with text, and you do this by using, and I'm sure I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, but the Voronoi filter, which can be found in the filters menu and in colors, and then it's this filter down at the bottom here. Now, as you can see with this sample I've made here, the first bit I did was I've made two versions and I sort of spliced them together to get two separate images here. So the first one I had just a plain blue background which I added the filter to, and then some text which I added the filter to, just sort of pretty flat, and it's not that sort of interesting. But the second one, when I used the word photo, I used a more colourful background and it gives a sort of better effect rather than just the plain colour, and I added some sort of effects to the text to help bring it out from the background. So you can sort of do it either way. So basically, I think the whole idea of this filter is to use it on an image, so something like this. So you come to filter, colors, and select the filter, and then when you get the controls, you've only got two options. You can change the cell size, which is like how big these are, and you can also alter the width of the black line. So the bigger the cells, like on an image like this, you sort of lose what the image originally was. So if I bring the cell size down, you can start to see that these were flowers, and you can bring the line size down and then just click apply. So that's the only sort of options you have in controlling the actual filter. And really I can't see there's going to be ever much use for this filter, so this is just really a bit of fun. It's not a serious sort of filter for manipulating your images. It's just a bit of fun that you can do something different with. So this is how you'd use it on an image, but like I said, the whole idea of this tutorial is sort of having a bit of fun with some text, and you can maybe make a logo or use the text in some way. Now this orangey red background I got from this abstract image that I made a long time ago with something, I think it was a program called Abstract Generator, I think it was called. And again, just a case of coming to the filters, colors, and select that filter, and then just make it as colourful as you need it. So let me get rid of that, and this is another one which I did, and this is sort of similar to what I'm going to aim for in this tutorial, whereas I'm going to make a gradient background to get all the colours that I want. Let me just continue shutting these down. And then adding effects to the text. And in this particular case, hopefully you can see it, there is that filter on the text, and it is sort of, because of the effects that I've added, it has become less pronounced, but they are there, and that may be another direction you may want to go in having a bit of fun with this. So let me just close this down, and we will start a new project, and I'm going to make this A5. It doesn't really matter what I'm also going to make it in landscape orientation, and we now just need a new layer. Now if you just want the one bland colour sort of as your background, you can just select a new layer from this icon over here and then make it whatever colour you want. But I want to go for a gradient, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to layer and new fill layer, and I'm going to make a gradient. Now this time I'm going to try and go for sort of a radial gradient, so I'm going to find the middle, and that's, you can do that if you have the snapping turned on, and then you bring your cursor, and once you've got the red and green lines, you know that it is in the center. So I'll just click and drag to the left while holding down the shift key to give me a straight line, and then I'm going to change this to radial, so it comes from the inside, the gradient goes outwards, but I want to make this very colourful and have quite a few colours. So what I'm going to do is this panel next to where it says radial, I'm just going to click on that, and this is where the gradient, we can change the gradient and positions and add some extra points. So at the moment the white node is the largest one, so that is the colour and node we're working on, but this one also has to be the point where you insert new nodes. So you click on that and it will insert one into the middle, and then I do want another one here, so I'm going to click back on that one and insert another one in the middle of that, and then want one in between the middle and the right edge. So if I click on the middle, it will always insert to the right of the node that is selected. So I'm going to insert another one there, so I have 5 different colours. So I'll come back to the left node and then click on the word, the panel next to the word colour, to get the colour picker. Now I'm going to try and avoid blue in the background because I'm going to make my text blue, so I want that to stand out. So I'm going to start with a light yellow to start with, go about there, and then click on the next node and select a colour. So we're going to go with a sort of green like that, come to the middle, back to colour, and we'll go with a red now, like that, and the next node, colour, let's go with a more purpley colour like that, and then the last node, and I will probably just go with more of a sort of orange colour maybe, yeah, like that. So there we have our background, and it does look a bit garish, I must admit. Now you can't add a filter, well this particular filter, to this type of layer as it stands at the moment, because if I click on that, sort of, although the thing comes up, it is having absolutely no effect. That's because this isn't, at the moment it's not actually a pixel layer. So what I need to do is rasterize this, and once you do that you can no longer sort of alter the gradient that's on there. But I'll just right click on the layer here and come to rasterize, so that is now sort of a pixel image. So then I can come up to filter, colors, and select the Voronoi filter, and as you can see this now has an effect. So I'm just going to have a tinker to find a setting that I like. There we go, I think that will do. And then it's just a case now of adding your text. So I'm going to select the text options. Now you could either do this with the artistic text, or like I'm going to do, the frame text tool. And I find this personally easiest. So I'll just make a text frame, and I will have it aligned in the center. And in case of picking a font that you want to use, now to help be able to see this effect, this filters effect, you probably need a fairly sort of chunky font. I'm going to use the same one which I used before, which is Black Ghost, which I just recently got as a free download, and then make it a nice decent size, quite big. Let's go with 288, might be a bit too big. Let's go back to 144 points and make sure that I'm in this setup. And then it's just a case of a colour. And like I said, I want to make this a nice blue because I haven't got any blue in the background. So let's try that one. We can always change it a bit later. And then just start typing. There we go. And then it's just a case of moving this up and centering it. About something like that. And once you're happy, then it's just a case of adding the filter to this layer, so making sure the text layer is highlighted. Come to filter, colors, Voronoi again. Now I have found with text you'll get all these black blobs. I've tried 2 or 3 different fonts, and you can't seem to sort of stop this happening. I'm not 100% certain why it's happening, but it does sort of add to the overall effect. And if you reduce the cell size, it does sort of help add to that effect. So I'm fairly happy with those sort of settings. Click apply, and at this point is when it doesn't, the text really doesn't stand out too much at the moment on that background. So we're going to add some effects to the text, and you can do that by clicking on the FX icon in the layers panel. Click on that and it will open up the layer effects. So the first thing I want to do is add an outline. So I'll put a tick into outline, click on the word outline to get the options, and then I'll just raise that sort of black outline around the text to help make it stand out. And also I'm going to add 3D effect, so I'm going to click on 3D, click on the word 3D to get the options, and you can tinker with these settings and get whatever effect you want, and the lighting in different directions. And the other thing I'm going to add is I'm going to add an inner shadow. So put a tick on that, click on the word inner shadow, and I'll just move these randomly for now. And then hopefully you can see it sort of add in a shadow down the left side at the moment, because the direction is coming from that direction. So it's just a case of adding a bit of tinkering with the settings till you get something that you like. So I'll just leave that there, come off of that tool, and then hopefully you can see that that sort of stands out better now with those effects added. And like I said, this is just a bit of fun. I can't see many uses you're going to have for this particular filter. but it could be good for a logo maybe. So really that is it. So thank you for watching and goodbye.